So good morning, good morning, good morning. Wow, I've got some really fun things. Wowzy. Um, good morning and happy Monday. My name is Bonnie Sachs, and I am the award-winning author of the Health and Happiness Guide. I feel like I'm blasting everybody this morning. It's so interesting to me because I've actually been by myself all weekend, and all the things that I ever wanted, right? Could everybody just get out of the house and get moving so I can, pay attention to what's going to show up on Monday? Everything I ever wanted was absolutely here this morning, and I don't like it. Everything I always wished for, which is a great message for all of us. Good morning, Jill and Robin and Aaron. And it is really kind of entertaining to me because, um, I all the things we ever wanted, right? Are we really getting what we want, or are we getting what we need? Like, ooh, that's a really big one, right? We're really getting what we need, and when we get our personalities out of the way, we really can do what we're here to do. So this morning, I think I'm having a conversation about how do you talk to yourself. Good morning, Molly. It's great to see you. Because I have, my husband's out of town for the weekend. He's coming back tonight. And because I have been home by myself, it's been really interesting, right? Because as a mom, when my kids were little, I was like, God, if I could just get time to myself, if I could just have some time to do what I want to do. It's interesting that when you get those things, right, when they show up for you, you're like, do I really want them? And of course, I am talking about time to myself this weekend, but all of us have our list, right? The things that we say we really want. And feel free to pop in and say what you most would love to have, and we'll work on putting that into the field and bringing more of that to you, because then you have an opportunity to see, yeah, is that really what you want, or are you not too sure if that's what you want? So interesting. I'm like, okay, what am I doing here? Guess I'm leaving a mom. So let's talk about that. Let's talk about what you are really looking for in your life. What do you really want? And if it were to show up, how would you feel about that? The way it's showing up to me right now is somebody, right, not necessarily me, sitting in a room with everything they have ever wanted in the room. And at first it looked like a room just surrounded by pots of gold and jewels and items like that. It would be something that would happen a long time ago, because that's certainly not how it would look now. But it's like, is that what you really want? Is that what you're really looking for? Or are you looking for something else that would show up? And so now what I'm seeing is, those pots of gold are being taken out. And there's things, this is so interesting, things that are showing up that are like big eyeglasses, which to me is like being able to see things clearly. And then a big, I guess that's like a hearing aid, or a kind of thing that's like all the different ways we wish we could show up, that are like if we could hear clearly, if we could have our relationships be really clear and really good. So it's an interesting picture of, what do you really want, and how are you really going after it, and how are you achieving it? And I have been asking in my head, okay, that's cool. How does this relate to how you talk to yourself? And then it's a ding, of course. Good morning, Susan. It's great to see you. How this is all connected is, how we are busy talking to ourselves. What are we saying to ourselves? What are we bringing in more of? And what are we pushing away because we're not sure if we deserve it? We're not sure if that's what we really want. You know, if I really wanted a Maserati, and it were to pull up in my driveway, no connections, you know, I don't have to pay for it or anything, it just shows up in my driveway. Do I still really want it? Is it something that I want to climb in and drive on a regular basis? Or is it something that I just kind of put on my wall, put on my refrigerator, put up as I will be successful. I will have made it once I have this. And so it's really interesting for us to just take a look at the things that we think we want. Good morning, Jill. It's great to see you. Those things that we have said, for those of us who are a little bit older, there's probably some things that we have had on our list of things that we wanted for a really long time. And we haven't looked at the list for a while. We haven't looked at the pictures for a while, or, you know, we haven't changed it up. What is it that we really want? Is that something we still really want? They're showing me the idea that as we get older, we start to change the things we want. There's some things that we start to say, you know, I probably don't really need that. I'd really like health for my children, and I'd really like to have some more happiness, and I would really, you know, it's okay if I don't have that house in Italy. I love that they showed that to me. It's okay that I don't have that house in Italy, or I don't go on that particular vacation, because we start settling into what is practical and what is reasonable, and maybe I don't really deserve that. I mean, if it hasn't come to me by now, maybe there's a reason why I don't have it. Maybe there's some reason why it's not showing up. And it certainly could be that maybe I don't deserve it, right? And that's a really interesting perspective. So we're weaving around the idea of, what do you say to yourself? What are you talking to yourself about? And what are you asking for? What are you putting out into the field? And I had 2 people this week say, yeah, you keep talking about that field thing. What do you mean by that field? And when I talk about the field, I'm talking about the quantum field. And the quantum field, to me, is kind of like air. It's the stuff all around us that allows us to speak into it for what we want and manifest what we're looking for next. Now, when I first started this morning, I did make the comment about the things that we want versus the things that we need. And there's always a difference between what you want and what you need. Good morning, Heidi. It's great to see you. You know, what you want are all the things that show up for you. And they're perfectly valid, perfectly important. You know, you want a new piece of furniture, or you want a job that makes more money, or you want a relationship that looks a certain way. And what shows up for you is really what you need at the time, is the thing that is next for you. That you remember, we always talk about your soul is in charge of everything in your body. And so you don't really, the personality doesn't really have all that much say in what shows up for you. So while you're ready for that perfect relationship, as an example, What may show up is the next relationship that you need to clear karma and agreements with, and get prepared for that relationship, that really awesome connection and relationship. So, hey, Leanne, it is great to see you. Look at her popping in from Rhode Island. How much fun is that? It is great to see you. Leanne actually lives down here and she's on vacation, so she is popping in from Rhode Island. I love that. So this quantum field, right? The quantum field is where we put stuff. We put our hopes, our dreams, our wants, our desires, our whatever is next. We put that out into the quantum field. And while I say it's like air, that it is everywhere, and it absolutely is, that's the external quantum field. We all also have an internal quantum field. We have one inside our bodies. And not that it matters whether you're speaking out loud or you are speaking quietly to yourself, but it is all stuff that you are putting out there. What do I want? What do I deserve? What is next for me? How am I going to create what is going to show up? And am I creating the things that I need, the things that I want? And am I really thinking way too much? And so I love that particular one as well, because I'm certainly somebody who does that. Good morning, Jane. It's great to see you. We're talking about what we're putting into the quantum field, how we talk to ourselves, what we want versus what we need. And are we being really generous with ourselves? It's a whole bunch of stuff. Can you all see the way the thread weaves through all of that? That what we really want, what we really truly want, isn't always what shows up for us. It's not always what we need. But it's also not necessarily what we really want, right? Because some of us are, the way they're showing me the next piece is, how many times have you said, I really want this, and you downsize the idea because you didn't think you deserved it, or you didn't think that it would be all that amazing, or you didn't think that it would show up for you if you asked for that size thing. So the way I'm seeing it this morning, and this is just totally entertaining me because this is not how I normally get information, is just seeing endless, what are those? Not jars, endless pots of gold, endless pots of gold and jewels and gems just spilling out of it. Oh, that's so freaking cool. Endless, like for as far as the eye can see, endless pots of gems and jewels and gold and things like that. And do you deserve that? Is that what you need? Is that what is next for you? And here's what I love about that image. Good morning, Karen, and good morning, Eva. It's really great to see you all. This image of the endless pots of gold and gems and jewels. I don't know how many of you all can see that, but it is not just an analogy in the physical, right? It's not just the, oh my gosh, I can take this ruby to the grocery store and cash it in for food, but it's also all of the healing, right, that is available to us. That's what's really cool, is the minute they were starting to show me these huge pots of gold, and they look to me very much like when they show the the leprechauns, right? The leprechauns with those pots. When they showed me the pots, they were showing me the endless gifts that are available and the jewels and the gems that are just spilling out. And those are also the crystals, right? The information that gets put inside of ourselves and transforms us, right? It is not the physicalness of having gold and silver and jewels and gems, diamonds and things like that show up for us. But instead, what I'm being shown is the endless supply of healing that's available to us, of energetic crystals and gems and jewels that are available to us. And in fact, oh gosh, it's so freaking cool. I'm now seeing the it's like a crown just like lifting out of one of the pots, and it's a crown that's just encrusted with jewels and gems, and it's just such a beautiful thing that it's like this is a gift that is available to you, and it is one that you are totally worthy of. Whoa, it's so freaking cool because it is that every single person here is worthy of this crown, of having this crown of gems and jewels put on your head, and to do the healing, to make the shifts, to make the changes so that you understand that you are so much more. Wow, it's amazing. You are so much more than how you truly see yourself and how you actually talk to yourself. And now I completely understand why my soul was giving me about this much information this morning. Like, oh, it'll be good. Just sit down and start talking. You'll figure it out. It'll all come to you. And the truth is, it absolutely is coming to me. But if they had told me that I was going to be talking about this and explaining this to you all, and getting emotional about it, I would have been like, oh no, I'm not showing up. So it's these beautiful gems and jewels, and now what I'm seeing, where were we? I think it was actually at a night of alchemical healing. It might have even been the last one. Oh, Jill, I know why you showed up. Because I'm actually seeing it the last night of alchemical healing. It's an event that happens every other Monday night here in the Palm Beaches. And our friend, many of us who are on here today, Karen Torres, does the healing circle, and it's freaking amazing. But here's how it applies to us. 2 weeks ago, I watched Jill energetically go shopping at an energetic mall that was filled with so many energetic gifts and opportunities to heal. And what I'm seeing this morning is what I saw Jill do. And Jill was at the jewelry store, the energetic jewelry store, putting on rings and putting on jewelry. And what I'm seeing is all these beautiful bracelets and bands and healing alchemy that is wrapped around all of the jewels and the gems. It's just so very interesting to me because it's this is not normally how information shows up for me. So good morning, Maggie. It's great to see you. It's and I'm sorry, Melissa, it's good to see you. But these gems and jewels that we have available to us, right? That are an infinite supply of all of these gems and jewels, that when we slip on these kinds of energetic gifts, things start to melt away. We start to understand with a little bit more clarity every day, even though in our personalities, right, our personalities are like, let's do big jump, big jump, big jump. I want massive awareness, massive understanding that this is happening to me. Like, I want to go from, oh my God, this hurts and I can't stand it anymore, to it's a miracle. It has completely resolved itself and I don't have anything more to complain about. Jill, thank you, thank you, thank you. I appreciate you putting that in. You're absolutely right. We are not separate from the quantum field. We are the field, and that's a great way of saying it, that it's not something separate. It's not like the air we breathe, right? Absolutely, we are the field, and so everything we're thinking, everything we're doing is going out into the world, right? Everything is going out, and it's what's going to come back to us is exactly what we need. And for all of us, there is an opportunity for us to just take advantage of all the gifts that are available to us. And some of that is showing up to me as people who aren't sure that they're really there for them. I totally get that. I have spent 2.5 years thinking that I am not worthy of all of these gifts, that I don't understand me, little old me, the housewife in Palm Beach Gardens who raised 2 kids is worthy of all of these gifts and all of this time. But the truth of the matter is that all of us are worthy. It's all of us are here for these gifts. All of us are here for all of this healing, for what shows up for you. Whatever it is for you, we're all in a different place and having different experiences. What works for me is not going to work for my neighbor. It's not going to work for anybody else here on this program. It's everybody's is a little bit different, and the way they're showing it to me is this strand of jewels and gems, and it's, yes, they're all a strand of jewels and gems, but for me, we're going to take out this one and insert this one, and take out this one and insert this one. But for you, what they're going to do is leave all those there, but take out this one, and this one, and add some more. So it's different for all of us, but we want to trust that those beautiful gems are there available to all of us. So how are you talking to yourself? How are you showing up for yourself in those quiet moments? What are you doing to just be okay, and to be all right with who you are? I know I have practiced being more kind to myself and more generous with myself, and thinking, what's next? What am I going to do? I'm going to actually listen to my soul and be okay with how much time I spend. I've said this a dozen times, how much time I spend on the sofa. I just heard a couple people fill that in for me. How much time I spend sitting on the sofa, and how much time I spend just doing what I want to do, right? I don't have to necessarily do what somebody else wants me to do. And I'm hearing to be very specific about that doesn't mean we don't show up and take care of what we need to take care of, but that we do it from a different point of view, that we do it from a, wow, this is an amazing opportunity, right? As opposed to us just being like, okay, I have to do this, and I have to put a smile on my face, and I have to do it really well. Instead, it's just like, oh, yeah, I'm going to go and do this. And this is my responsibility. And we all have those lists of things that we need to do. So we just want to keep putting the positive out, the information out that's just like, okay, I'm okay. I'm doing what I need to do. I'm being kind to myself, and I'm trusting what is coming through. What is coming through. So I see the gifts coming for all of us, and there's a few of us that are running our hands through the crystals, running our hands through what is available, and having this thought: which ones can I take? Which ones are available to me? Which ones are the best ones for me? Which ones are going to do what I most want them to do? And what I'm seeing is that as we play with the jewels, as we play with what's available to us, and this is an analogy for how we show up, right? How we show up in our own lives, how we play with things. but we have this sense that there is a certain things that are available to us, there are certain ones we're supposed to take next, and that there's a certain order that we have to do it in. And what they're showing me as we're just sifting through them is that it is all showing up exactly as it's supposed to, and that there's an endless supply of them. So it's like each one of you is coming up and grabbing handfuls of jewels and putting them in your pockets and putting them in every available space that you have. But the container hasn't gone down at all. Nothing more is missing. It just continually refills. It continually is available for the next person. And I love that today's conversation has this interplay of in the physical, but in the energetic world, and this aspect of each one of you is going to hear me differently. Each one of you is going to take, like, oh yeah, I got that. Yeah, that's what that means for me. And the next one could be hearing the exact same piece of information and say, oh, no, that isn't how it showed up. It showed up like this for me. And it's a really beautiful reminder that we all take what we need, we use what we need. And just because I show you this coffee cup and we think of it as a coffee cup and we put coffee in it, that there's an infinite number of ways that we can use it for ourselves, for what works best for us. It's filled with coffee, so I'm not going to do anything with it, but I could certainly put it on top of my head and let what is in that, seep through me in one way. But I could also sit on it and have it, work in a different way. And so that's the analogy that they're giving me, that we're all using these gifts exactly as we need to use them. And we are healing what is available for us to heal, what's next. And we're doing it in exactly the way that our soul is asking us to do that, whether you know that or not, right? Whether you agree with that or not, or whether you even knew that you had a soul, it is absolutely the case that we are using the energetic gifts that are available to us, that are always there for us, exactly as they're next available to us. So I love that image, and to know that we don't have to be racing for it, getting it done. Am I doing it right? Am I saying the right words? Am I moving my hands in the right way? We're just moving and doing what is next for us, and we're doing it as exactly as we're supposed to. Good morning, Kim. It is great to see you. This idea that we're all doing it really well, exactly as we're supposed to, that no matter how you talk to yourself, no matter how you show up for you today, or you show up for you tomorrow, you're doing it exactly as you are meant to do it. That idea that somehow we messed it up, or that we're not enough, or maybe we missed the boat. Totally perfect, exactly as it is. And I love that showed up today, because I did have this conversation with myself. Wow, did I just waste my weekend? Did I get everything done that I needed to do? Am I, taking care of what I need to take care of? And the answer is always yes, yes, yes. We're doing it so much better than we possibly could imagine. And as we move out more of those low frequencies, we certainly see that. So I do want to thank you all for joining me for our crazy little morning. I'm not exactly sure if everybody got exactly what they needed, but I am going to trust that it turned out exactly as it's supposed to. And I hope you all have a great week. And If you are interested, you can certainly join that healing circle. I'm going to post the information right here in just a moment, and I look forward to seeing you throughout the week because I'm always available for you. And of course, seeing you next Monday. Take care.